If you'd come to Lansing 100 years ago, the center of this community was focused on the riverfront. If you'd come here 30 years ago, you'd have seen the riverfront used as an industrial wasteland, a place to dump our sewage. But today we've repurposed this urban riverfront to again make it the center of the community, the artery that feeds the rest of the community's economy, recreation, residents.
Well, it just so happens that the Lansing River Trail is an abandoned rail corridor, and it's been repurposed for a rail trail. And we are #1 in the country, Michigan is, in the number of rail trail miles. We have 2,623 miles, and this is an example of one of them. And by taking an old industrial type corridor, paying attention to the river and making it a new sort of plaza, main street for people, for recreation and transportation, is really a good reuse of this corridor.
Just come out here and walk a little bit, just get started. And it's amazing that you feel so much better to get out in the fresh air, no matter what time of year it is. It's beautiful in Michigan, and just watch the seasons change.
The water is always reflecting and beautiful to see. You'll see animals that you wouldn't see at home. I mean, the natural environment is so much, you enjoy it, and it's such a stress reliever for me.
They're really good for local economies because of the fact, for one thing, it's a pride point for the community. And it's something that you can have, all sorts of fundraising events. You can use it as your main corridor for having your shops and your businesses, clustered around the trail. The more that you turn your town into a trail town and embrace trail user needs, then people are going to come off the trail and go to your businesses.
This section of the trail is known as the Valhalla Trail, and it's the first section we've built in the township, and it is so fabulously successful and well used that it really served as the impetus for all of the future trail work that we've started and both plan to do. Connecting to this trail is what's called the Sycamore Creek Trail. It's also been known as the North Trail Connector, but basically it's the section of trail that will connect this area of Holt all the way up to the Lansing River Trail at the south end of Lansing at Aurelius and Jolly Road.
Holt was able to do a non-motorized plan, and they had hundreds of people give public input as to where people wanted to see trails go. And so between their parks and their neighborhoods and their downtown and linking to the Lansing River Trail on the south end, that was all voiced by the public, and they put it into their plan, and now they're going about implementing it phase by phase. And with the first one linking to the south end of the Lansing River Trail.
People who want to live in communities also want to work in those communities, so it contributes to economic development as well. We've had an amazing response from our citizens and our businesses about the trail construction, and it's really been prioritized for that reason.
I think that we try to get out and do something together outdoors almost every week, sometimes more often. But I think that's pretty much the goal of our life, is to try to get out and do something. So with 2 kids, one who's 6 months old, sometimes it takes us longer than others to get out and do something. But the focus of our lives oftentimes is to get out into the outdoors, into our neighborhood, and do something fun.
We started kayaking a little over 4 years ago when I was pregnant with our first son, Pablo, because we wanted to maintain an active lifestyle and I couldn't mountain bike anymore. So we bought kayaks, and then we ended up moving about a block from the river. We can carry our kayaks down to the river, or we can drive them down. Sometimes we'll go all the way down to Grand Ledge.
We've been here for, I think, 15 years, and is it about 15 years? And when we first started hanging outdoors in Lansing, I don't think we really considered the river very much.
But in the beginning, I found it to be kind of dirty. Now you can see the bottom in the river, and it's really beautiful. I mean, we see more birds on this river. We see blue herons. We see more birds in this river than we ever do on land.
It's not the same river from 20 years ago. It certainly is a different river than rivers you see up north because the river system's different. But it's a cleaner river, it's a usable river, it's an enjoyable river. I found myself the last few weeks, for example, getting excited about the salmon run. When 5 to 10 years ago, I wouldn't even thought about the salmon run. But now we know the salmon are coming up in greater numbers. We know that there's more wildlife on the river. We know it's cleaner. And so it's something to get excited about now.
I know. Can you tell I'm scared?
You will rock.
Let's hope.
I am a reformed couch potato. I used to sit on the couch all the time. I watched TV all the time. I ate too much food and I never exercised. Finally decided I had to change. So I started with little baby steps. I was living in an urban setting at the time, so I just started walking the dog, and that was great. And then I realized we have this amazing park system in the Tri-County area that's been in place for a long time, but it continues to get better and better all the time. And that baby step program from just going for walks eventually, over 10 years' time, led to some yoga, and then it led to wanting to challenge myself more. And one of the biggest challenges was climbing the dunes at Sleeping Bear Dunes. I thought, wow, if I can do this, I can run a triathlon. And I did. I'm the last person I ever expected to run a triathlon. And I thought, I don't know what I'm doing and this is crazy. But we have this beautiful park system in place that I thought, why am I missing out on this? This is crazy. This is what our tax dollars are supporting, right? Let's go out and enjoy it. If we're gonna spend tax dollars, I can't think of a better way to spend it than, okay, infrastructure and our health. You know, what do you have at the end of the day if you don't have your health? You are never too old, you are never too fat, and it is never too late to get started.
Right now, in our county, we reach out and we cooperate with township government in terms of their park projects. We work with them to help getting grants for land acquisition. We've worked with the Conservation District and the Drain Commission on improvement of, and also the state on improvement of state properties. So, you know, it's a matter of asking for that help. People are willing to help. It's all in our best interest to work towards a sustainable future. One, sustainable not only for the environment, but economically so that we have a good lifestyle and we can take care of ourselves and our families.
Truthfully, it is very easy to be green. It does not take a lot of effort. Sometimes you have to think before you make a decision, but you think about what's best for your local environment, make proper decisions. What's going to benefit the public around you, what's going to benefit the land you're working with, and think about the future. When you make those decisions, what's going to be good down the road.
As you've seen across mid-Michigan, people are actively working to make this a greener region of our state. There's a sense of optimism and a can-do spirit. You can be involved, you can be part of making a difference in your community and your neighborhood. Many organizations are willing, ready, and able to help you.